Behind me here is an edible fungus that looks like an ear. It's easy to identify, it's common, plentiful, and can be found all year round, including deepest, darkest winter, when it arguably even looks at its best. It has many different common names, but two of the most common include wood ear or jelly ear. It also has one of my favourite Latin names, Auricularia auricular judei. And the judei is a reference to Judas Iscariot and relates to the fact that Judas Iscariot is thought to have hung himself on an elder tree. And wood ears grow mainly on dead or dying elder trees. The mushroom is so called perhaps obviously because it looks like an ear. It's a similar size to an ear as well, typically being anywhere from 3 to 7 centimetres across. It's this reddy brown or sometimes even deep purple like colour on top, and the upper surface can be either smooth or sometimes undulating. The underneath is a much lighter colour. Certainly if it is this deep purple on top, it does tend to be a bit lighter in colour underneath, but on some of the lighter coloured specimens like this, you will find there's not much difference between the top and the bottom colour wise. You can see as well here that the colour does vary quite significantly, and that's mainly because it's different levels of hydration. When the mushroom dries out, it does go to a different colour. These, for example, are much drier than these ones, which are still much more jelly-like. The flesh itself feels like jelly. It's slightly translucent and fairly thin. There aren't any serious lookalikes to worry about, and certainly if it looks like this, is growing on an elder tree and the cup part of the ear is facing downwards, an easy way to remember that is to think of an ear to the ground and not upwards, then it can't be anything else but this fungus. Believe it or not, you can eat this mushroom raw, and it's a decent flavour. It's mild in flavour, but quite mushroomy, but it's the texture of it, especially raw, that I'm not a big fan of. It's jelly-like, but a bit rubbery as well, with a crunchy element to it, so it's just a bit weird for me. It is very good, however, in Asian-style cooking, such as in miso soups and stir-fries. In fact, a very close relative to this is even cultivated on a massive scale in the Far East. If you are using them in a stir-fry, just be aware that they can potentially explode quite dangerously in hot oil, but the way to stay safe and to avoid that happening is to simply add the other ingredients of your stir-fry in first and then add the wood ear in afterwards. Another fantastic use of this mushroom is to dry it up, powder it up, and then use it to make a lovely vegan mushroom flavoured stock. Sometimes, especially outside of winter, you'll find them already dried on the tree, saving you the job. If you don't want them dried, however, you can put them in water and they will reconstitute in as quickly as 10 minutes. You can also put the dried fungus into fruity booze such as sloe gin. Let it soak it up before drying it again and covering it in chocolate to make your own take on Turkish delight. This wasn't my idea, by the way, but it is something that I've tried and liked. As for the medicinal benefits, it's thought that this mushroom is good for heart health, digestive health, the immune system, and generally just good for you due to it containing decent levels of antioxidants. Dried, it is actually 65% carbohydrate by weight, and so it provides a good source of carbohydrates from the wild.